Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Go Crazy 2K, and today there's some insane, sad, interesting stuff that happened with Mopi and 2Hype. So, Mopi finally dropped his video about 2Hype and what went down and why he left the group. But there was a lot of things that happened that caused him to leave, and a lot of interesting things that he claims and were some just outright facts that he showed in the video. Just before we get into it, a few things that he basically outlined where he started to have an addiction with smoking and drinking, and they were not supportive. And he basically goes in depth into each and every member of the group. But if you want to stay updated on this 2 Hype drama, if there's response videos and everything, I'll be covering that and trying to drop it as soon as I possibly can. And I'm on the road to 1K. I'm trying to hit 1K by the end of February. Um, because that's just my goal, my dream. I want to be big on YouTube. So yeah, please drop a sub, and I'm gonna get right into the video. So if you don't know who Mopi is already, he was a member of 2Hype that was there for a while, and one of Jesser's close friends. But they recently had a falling out where Los Polos TV, TD Presents, and Mopi, also 50 Cal Mal. I don't know if you know who he is, but he used to be a member of 2Hype, and he got kicked, as well as TD and Los, which they left a while ago, probably almost 2 years now. But they had some things to say about 2Hype and their situation, and Mopi did support these things as well, claiming that they were just horrible people who didn't know how to be real with their friends and act like friends. And he said they were basically snakes. And this is kind of just, like the introduction to like what happened. He said they were snakes and that they just didn't act like real normal people, and they didn't want to see they claimed that they wanted to see him doing well, but they didn't really want to see him doing well. For example, if you don't know who Jidel is, that is Jester the Laser's brother. He's a member of 2Hype as well. But every single time that Mopi would shoot a video, Mr. Jidel would look very uninterested in what was happening, and he just didn't seem to care. But when you see him on his own videos, he has a completely different energy towards the video, which is interesting. But I think is it just shows how 2Hype really is, and everybody who's been paying attention to this drama and just seeing how they've been changing. I used to watch them a lot back in 2016, their individual channels, and it just seems like they don't know how they take things too far, and they don't know how to own up to things when they are wrong, which is basically something that Mopi also said. But I'm not here to bash them because they're already down tremendously, and I don't think anything I could say right now would even make it worse for them. But there are some things that Moby did say that could definitely make it worse for them, such as Moby was in a really, really, really dark place, but Jesser the Laser, his supposed friend, um, he spun him being in a dark place into something else to make it seem like he was mentally unstable. And basically the things that Mopi was claiming were just false. Like, oh, 2Hype is not actually bad. Mopi's just, he's mentally ill, so he's just spewing nonsense, which is not the case because, again, he said that they twisted him going to rehab because he was in a dark place because of 4 out of 6 of the members of 2Hype, that he did end up having to take this route. And frankly, everything he said seems to be true. But again, I'm not going to make this opinion based. This is just, I'm trying to make this, unbiased, just a news video. And he claims that Zach also just was very manipulative with his girlfriend, and claimed that the reason he was starting to become a bad person was because the influence that she was giving on him. And I don't know the full situation. I never really paid too much attention to it, and it's not even a big deal to this video, but it just shows how manipulative they are and what they do to get their way. As well as Mopi was clearly emotionally like he wasn't he was a little like sad when he was talking about everything that was happening, but at the same time he knew like he still was spitting facts. And also it just goes to show with everything with TD, if it was one person maybe you could claim that it's just like nah, it's kind of BS. But the fact that things like leaked audio gets out there of the call of kicking out Los and TD and telling them to create a fake narrative, the fact that when TD they just created lies about him with the landlord and everything. And that's a whole nother thing. You can go watch my video about what happened with TD if you want to get informed on that situation. They When Mopi was like down, they didn't really try to be there for him. And they're living together for a while. I don't know if they all still live together. Again, I don't really pay attention to them anymore, but they were living together for a while. And this is how he was being treated. And he took time away from the group. um Apparently he said Zach and Chris were making some really messed up jokes. Not sure what they were regarding, possibly family members, as well as Zach and Chris. He said Chris, I can just imagine things that Chris would say. But when Mopi did not want to be part of the trading cards, if you don't know what they did, a little trading card thing. They tried to create their own like trading cards for people to do because like the Pokemon trading cards and things like that are making a resurgence. So they wanted to have that going, but Moby didn't want to be part of it just because he didn't feel like it was right, and he didn't feel right with it. But basically, he said that LSK Christopher London was just being disrespectful to him and calling him names and just being like basically you can just imagine he was basically calling me an idiot, but worse, and being like, oh my gosh, like we're gonna make a lot of money off this and everything, like everything that involves starting a brand new business, but just way more toxic than it has to be. And again, they have a lot of negative things that they did that they didn't have to do and could have helped them out so much more. Not even concerning the kicking people out, because that's already a separate issue, and that's something that they felt they were gonna do, I think, regardless. But the way they treat people, he said like they felt like they were YouTube gods, and they did not show respect to people when they talked to them, and like even with fans, like I think everybody knew that Jester the Laser like changed a little bit, because I used to really enjoy his content back in like 2K16, pack openings and things like that. But it just seems like LSK. I don't know when. I think LSK has been like this a while, and probably TTG as well. I don't know how long, but I feel like at least since they knew each other, because that's when he started to change. And he said they were at the Cheesecake Factory, and Jester literally signaled to like a few fans trying to like say hi that he does not want to talk to them at all. And it wasn't like they were having a private conversation or anything. He just genuinely didn't want to talk to them. And you can understand that if it's a lot, like sometimes you want to have like a private, you just want to enjoy life without being bothered by your fans. But Mopi seemed to make it as if there was no issue, and Jester just was being like really rude, and like he didn't want to support his fans, which is not gonna lead to success. I mean, not to say they're not successful, but obviously there's gonna be a setback when you treat people like they don't matter. He also said that like the only person to actually treat him like a real friend was Jeff. I mean, he said Cash and Mitchell were cool, but there's just so many things I like. You could make your own 40-minute video about it. I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but he said that Mitchell or Moochie, I don't remember how to say it. I think I'm saying that right, Moochie. He was joining Two Hype, and they all were gonna, take 1% out of what they made and like put him in that split. So he got, I believe, 6%. It would have been, but instead, he didn't give an exact percent. But instead, he didn't get anything from I think Jidel, LSK, a few of them, and they basically tried to justify things. And It seems as that's one of the main problems he had with them. Like they never owned up to what they did, and they always tried to make a justification for things that they would say and do. Like, how can they claim to be real friends when they don't even want to give 1% of what they're making to somebody who's part of their group? This is not like just like, being out of kindness of your heart, give them like 1%. Like, they're a business. Like, they are really in a group. It's not just, it's not like you're giving money to somebody on the street. This is somebody who you're going to be working with for a while. And that's, it's sad to see, as well as like there was just so many bombs dropped in this video, as well as Mopi going and showing everyone in that video the words that Two Hype had blocked out. They had like a bunch of other groups like Sidemen, AMP, I don't know. They probably had more at one point as well. They just had people's names blocked up, like part of their names as well. It was like TD, presents, TD presents, Los Polos TV, like 50K, and it's like they had a bunch of stuff that's just like just so you couldn't comment anything that was even sort of negative. They had some weird ones like Donald Trump and stuff like that, but I guess I know where that could go. So whatever with those, but the fact that they had to block things out just because they want to keep the way that they run Too Hype, just so it just feels fake when you can't there's always going to be negatives to life and always going to be positives to life, and you have to balance that out, but they didn't seem to like know how to do that, and it's caused a lot of problems even from people who've already left the group, that they genuinely seem like mad about what happened. Like Los, like I like Los, so I'm not gonna say like he's like really like mad, but he was frustrated definitely with the way they handled the situation. And now Tuab is going to be facing a ton of backlash. And like I've been saying, I think Cash is going to end up leaving. But Cash, he knows there's a lot of money involved, so I don't know if he wants to do that, but that definitely seems like a possibility. There's a lot of things I didn't touch on this video, but I think that's all I'm going to get to right now. I might make a second video about it, but there's just so much to cover, and I know you guys are waiting for a video about this, so I'm gonna end off there. But anyways, please subscribe if you want more news about this 2 Live situation and 2K videos and maybe NBA videos, whatever. You guys can leave it down in the comments what you want me to make videos about. But that's basically all I wanted to say. And peace. I'm out of here. Road to 1K. Please drop a sub.